Camera for Cam's Mortgage Minute on Tuesday, December 4th. Hey, recent numbers just came out of Greater Vancouver's housing market, and it looks like the market is down 28.6% in November compared to a year ago at the same time. But the sellers, however, aren't panicking as prices have only slipped 1.7% again compared to the same time a year ago. Basically, the sales were 1,686 sales of single-family detached homes, condos, and townhouses last month, down from 2,360 a year earlier. That's 674 less sales reported by the Vancouver Real Estate Board. Home sellers appear more inclined to remove their properties from the market today rather than lower prices to sell their properties. On the other hand, buyers appear to be expecting prices to moderate, according to Board President Eugene Klein in a recent statement. Overall, sales were 30.3% below the 10-year average of 24.20 for November. The board it basically uses a home price index that strips out the most expensive homes because that serves as a better barometer of trends than the average prices. Under this statistical gauge, the index price of a single-family detached home on Vancouver's west side, get ready for this, was $2.03 million in November. That's right, if you're living in the Maritime somewhere or watching me somewhere else, 2.03 was the average. However, that was a decline of 8.4% from the same month last year, the sharpest drop among all of the markets. So obviously, you know, when prices do start declining a bit, the biggest markets, the most expensive homes do sometimes tend to take a hit a little faster. Home prices in Greater Vancouver have generally declined between 3 and 5.5%, depending on the property type, since reaching a peak of about 6 months ago. So you remember, the thing to keep in mind is since they reached a peak 6 months ago, and Vancouver's prices have been steadily increasing year after year. So, a decline at this point is not going to be bad news for folks. The people who bought, 5, 6, even 3, 4 years ago or 2 years ago are still up. The region's price index stood at 596,900 since peaking out at 625,100 in May of this year. So what is it telling us? Well, it's telling us that home sales are down. They're definitely dropping. Prices are certainly reflecting that as well. They're not huge drops. Some areas, like I said, have been hit a little harder than others. But overall, the market seems to be holding its own. But again, a new year's around the corner. We'll see what happens with the economy and so many other factors. But Vancouver, stalwart market, has been for time and for decades now, is finally starting to see some of the impacts in that weakening. So this might mean that some other people will be able to get into the housing market, perhaps some first-time buyers who've been sitting on the sidelines. Again, rates are still fantastic. There's lots of options out there, so if you need a mortgage, you're down in Vancouver, we can help you pretty much anywhere. Give us a call. It's Cam the Mortgage Man. You can find me online, the Auxilium team. We're here to help. Give me a call on my cell anytime. We're happy to help. We will see you tomorrow.